Thank you very much, Pablo, for this invitation to talk about permaculture with my point of view. It's a point of view of ergonomics. With this point of view, we look at human activity. Sorry in advance, sorry for my English. Next one, please. Thank you, Pablo. Yes, with my communication, I want to present to you a study of the system of resource of permaculture farmers. This study is the basis for broader research that goes beyond permaculture and concerning sustainable development. With this communication, I want to present to you a methodological proposal for analyzing criteria and value systems that relate to sustainable development. And I want to discuss about the principle of substitutability. Next one, please. And I've got a great interest for systems, systems theory, systems of resources, and ecosystems. It's at the beginning of my interest on the permaculture, I believe. Next one, please. Sorry, just a point about ergonomics. IEA, International Ergonomics Association, proposed this definition. Ergonomics, it's the implementation of scientific knowledge relating to humans and necessary to design tools, machines, or devices that can be used by as many people as possible with maximum comfort, safety, and efficiency. Our main goal is to ergonomists want to understand human activity and contribute to the development of individuals and contribute to the development or design of different socio-technical systems. Next one, please. At the first point is like a meeting between some previous works about systems of resources and permaculture. My previous works, sorry, is to analyze the resource systems by individuals, used and usable in context by people engaged in a work activity. I developed a methodology, FSRM method, and various systems, various resource system characteristics are identified. And permaculture, I don't want to define to you the permaculture, but in our opinion, its undeniable advantage lies in systemic nature. And this is what most particularly caught my attention. The next, please. What is my methodology? It's this methodology is like a triangulation of methods. First, a point of view extrinsic to the permaculture farmers, and the second is an intrinsic point of view. The first is photos and diagrams of permaculture reels, video testimonials of permaculture farmers and documentaries, and observation of permaculture zones. And the second point of view, intrinsic, interviews with several permaculture farmers and several sequences of observations, the activities of 3 farmers. And after, I propose my method. To resume, this method consists in establishing a data grid based on observations and interviews, relating to the modes of performing an activity when there is a resource failure, and criteria and values that the subject assigns to identify substitute resource. The next one, please. Thank you. With this method, it's I develop a grid. Sorry, in this slide is in French language. Sorry, but we can see several columns, and the most important are the columns 4 and 5. The goal with those columns, with these 2 columns, is to discuss the principle of substitutability, identifying the substitution of one resource by one or more other resource. It's like it's like a game. I propose this game of failure and substitution just after. The next one, yeah, sorry, the next. And just one of these permaculture farmers about his situation. Over the last 2 years, this permaculture farmer has been converting the land around his main residence into a micro farm. This activity takes up all of his time and is driven by the objective of economic viability to be achieved through the valorization of his production. His vision of permaculture is that which uses forest as its model, where not a single gram of energy is wasted. The 10 or so beds offer various combinations of plants that constitute a variety of crop sequences. The next slide, please, Pablo. For example, one of the beds, this one contains 4 bean plants, which form the corners of a square, cauliflower, sorry for the term, in the middle, celeriac on the sides, tomatoes on the southern edge, and lettuces and tomatoes on the northern edge. This permaculture farmer said this will produce smaller vegetables, but overall there should be a decent quantity. The next one, just another example. This one contains a row of chili peppers along the northern edge, a row of peas along the southern edge, with gradually climb up, sorry, stakes set into the ground. And after, I'm sure you know that. After this, there's 2 examples. We can go to the next slide, please, Pablo. Initial results. It's a study, but exploratory study. Okay. One point about this initial results. We can look at principles of permaculture with this study. Mixed and diverse crops, concentrate both vertically and at ground level, aggregation of the soil, harvesting spread over time, less water used for watering due to the proximity effect of certain plants, etc. Next one. And the second point is about systemic principles. One point, the primary intrinsic functions of each plant is here. This farmer proposed tomatoes or other for consumer after. But there are other functions, not directly intrinsic, but because we can see emergencies or constraints. But these are systemic principles. Beds are systems in their own right, but beds as subsystems of the overall growing zone. And other systemic principles, very interesting, but I'm sure you know there also. And next slide. Thank you. And another point about initial results, we can see results and criteria and value systems proper to this permaculture farmer. This one. We can see principles of permaculture as immaterial artifacts, know-how, information, and material artifacts or artifacts are tools. Okay, material tools such as soil-friendly gardening tools, the Grelinet boat fork and the companion. You know that, I'm sure, and other informal material artifacts as such as branches and metal stakes in beds. Cross aesthetics, sorry, it's very difficult for me. Aestheticism and organization with flowers and beds and properly maintained alleys, etc. But there a last point I want to talk. I want to present to you. It's about criteria and values, which can be taken into consideration via the multidimensional socio-ecological model, the Brundtland reports about sustainable development. The workload generated by each and all of the growing sequences. We can see human and social dimensions. Plain sales to the general public. We can see economic and human and social dimensions. And induced water consumption. We can see ecological and environmental dimensions. Sorry, the last slide. Just to resume, I think, I believe with this method, we can analyze permaculture farmer activity with regard to the functions of each individual resource and criteria and value systems. I think it's possible to go to another step and for generally about sustainable development concerning other projects like energy transition issues, other. And with this approach, very concentrate about human activity, we consider them to be a complex and systemic motive for the activity, in opinion, as close as possible to the initial objectives set out in the Brundtland report. And the next, sorry. Thank you for your attention.
Thank you very much.
I hope it was clearly, but I'm not sure. Sorry.
No, thank you very much. Very interesting presentation, and I invite everyone to ask or post their questions. Any questions? Okay, maybe then I will start. How do you think, is there a need to include any additional principles of ergonomy to the list of permaculture principles? Because like my opinion, or maybe everyone's opinion, that of course not all of them are ecological principles, so some already are principles of efficient organization of social systems, so maybe we need to add some more to make permaculture even more efficient, more ergonomic.
Other principles of ergonomics to analyze permaculture. Yes, with ergonomics approach, we want to understand human activity, but it's this goal is sorry. With this goal, we want to transform socio-technical systems, and the criteria and value systems of permaculture farmers, for example, are the earth of activity, the motivations, the goals of this permaculture farmers are to respect environment, to respect human and social dimensions, and they want to have money. They want money for this activity, but it's like tensions in these three dimensions. There are so many tensions, but in the activity, in the human activity, there are always tensions. And to think about sustainable development, we have to assume these tensions. It's never easy to engage in sustainable development action, but in different moments, the tensions invite individuals to do choice. They have to choose the actions, their actions, and these tensions are in the earth of their activity. So sorry, it's not clear probably, but the activity is motivated by many criteria, many values, and I want to explore and identify this.
Thank you.